When you're ready to finish your knitting, the next thing you need to think about is how you're going to bind off or cast off, depending on what country you're in. Same name means the same thing. It's just a means of anchoring those stitches together so that they're not going to come apart. The most standard method is you knit or purl your stitches in whatever stitch pattern you're doing, and then you lift one stitch over the next as you knit it. So you knit the next one and then you lift one stitch over it so that you've only ever got one stitch left on this side, and then you're gradually eating away at all of the stitches. So that is your standard bind off. But there are different places that you may possibly want to bring in different techniques to have create some very unique results. So the kind of things like that would be where you perhaps want to create an edging as you do the cast off. Or you might want to go ahead and join a couple of sections of stitches together, or you might want something that's really, really stretchy. So all of these can be achieved with different types of bind-offs. So one bind-off that I use quite a bit that I'm really fond of is called a 3-needle bind-off. And what that does is it takes 2 pieces of active knitting, so like the top of a shoulder seam, and you've got stitches on one needle, stitches on another needle, and then you take a 3rd needle, which is why it's called a 3-needle bind-off, and you go in with that 3rd needle knitting 1 stitch from the front and 1 stitch from the back, so that you're knitting those 2 together as you go. And then the rest of it looks like a pretty standard bind-off, because then you're knitting 1 from the next and 1 from the back. You lift 1 over, and so you keep doing that, but every stitch that you're knitting as you're taking more, you're going to knit 1 from the back and 1 from the front needle, so that you're knitting those together while you're doing the bind off, and it creates a really beautiful shoulder seam. Now the other kind of ones that you might want to look at are ones where you want to create a type of edge effect. So the one that I use quite a bit would be known as a I-cord bind off. And what that does is, you may have seen I-cord stitches where it just creates a little tube of knitting. So you can't quite see it here, but like the edge of these here, there's buttonholes, which creates I-cords. So if you see along the rest of this, this is an I-cord bind-off. And what you're doing is you're knitting the 3 stitches, but the 3rd stitch, you're knitting 1 from the actual knitting with it. So as you're knitting that I-cord along the edge of your work, you knit the 3rd one together with 1 of your stitches, so you're creating the bind off as you're also working that I-cord. So it creates a really nice I-cord edging, and it creates a very stretchy bind off as you're going. So that would be one of my favorites. Not exactly the same thing, but the Icelandic Bind-Off also creates a very nice edge where it's almost like an I-cord garter stitch turned the wrong way. It's not, but that's what it looks like. So that would be a really good one for the edge of garter stitch. And then many of the other variations are going to create much stretchier edges for you. So the elastic bind-off, where you knit 2 stitches together instead of lifting them over, slip it back, knit 2 together from the back. What that does is going to give you a little bit more stretch in your bind-off, so very good for the edging of shawls where you need a lot of stretch. And the other kind of ones that would add a lot of stretch would be the Picot Bind-Off, where you're casting on stitches, then binding off stitches, so it creates kind of bumps as you're going along. So you've got cast on, bind off, cast on, bind off. So it creates this little kind of a wave effect across the edge that gives you a lot more stretch. Jeny's Stretchy Bind-Off is going to be similar, because what you're doing is creating a yarn over loop between each, so that it's got some really nice stretch going on between it. So a lot of these are going to be some of your fairly standard bind-offs. The only one I can think of that would be another variation that is quite similar to some of the other stretchy ones would be your crochet loop bind-off, where what you're doing is you're doing a little crochet chain and then you're joining together. And it's almost like a variation on the Picot Bind-Off, but instead of doing cast on and bind off stitches, you're doing a little crochet chain loop to create these loops along the edge of your work. So as with cast-ons, the bind-offs you use is going to be very, very much determined by what your project is looking like and how you want that bind-off to flow into the project. And there was one more I forgot to mention, and that would be a sewn bind-off or a tubular bind-off. And you're basically grafting knits and purls together. So it's only going to work for a 1x1 ribbing, and it will match really nicely with your alternating cable cast on, because the knits and purls will flow right into each other, make it very seamless and very stretchy. So that is another very specialized one for one particular type of ribbing, but when you are working that ribbing, it creates a beautiful finished product. So think a little bit about the bind-off you want to do for your project, and can it enhance the project that you're working on.